why they call me the King of Green? Because I love this planet.
So you're gonna take out the whole forest?
Yeah.
But we're replacing it with a shopping mall with a forest theme.
Furry Vengeance. Is it that 70s unshaven porn film that you saw?
You know what? You guys don't get to make jokes.
What?
I hate both of y'all.
Hasn't he suffered enough?
I showed up at this screening, and ain't none of y'all motherfuckers showed up except me. I'm looking around, saving a seat.
To be fair, I had better things to do.
See, I was going to give you a pass because you out of town.
Yeah, he was.
But the rest of y'all had no excuse.
Well, to be fair on my part,
you were holding coffee.
I was holding coffee.
Son of a bitch.
No, I really did mean to be there. I really did. I was working that day. It totally slipped my mind. And you and I even talked about this. It was a Sunday. We don't usually have movies on Sunday, so it's easy to forget. Now, that said, I'm glad I missed this shit.
Yeah.
I just watched the trailer before we started just to remind myself how bad this looked. Crotch shots, poop jokes, pratfalls,
CG animated reaction shots from animals.
Oh yeah, the whole Home Alone reaction from a chipmunk. Ah! I was like, oh no, hell no.
In fact, this looks so bad it actually took a tiny, tiny little sliver out of my soul. And in fact, just the fact you have seen it yourself, the whole thing, I don't think we can be friends anymore.
And the thing is, it took that soul out of you anally too. So it
did.
It's like an alien abduction. But hey, my
in
man,
reverse.
You know what? Let me
when I mention all that stuff, there's no reason to review it anymore.
let me give you this Purple Heart right here for you to commend you for your bravery.
Is it poisoned?
Just a little prick right there will pull him out of his misery.
Now let me surprise you with this. This movie,
yeah,
it's terrible.
I'm not surprised so far.
It's bad, and yet I doubt it's going to end up on my worst of the year.
Wow.
And I can't really explain it to you other than to say that it must have had little things that kept it from being completely unwatchable. Like there would be some stuff that would come up somewhere in the gags where it's like, you know what? This is bad, except it's not quite Daddy Day Camp. I mean, look, I would not recommend this movie to any of you guys at all. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a kid, there's no reason for you to see this.
Yeah.
But it just struck me watching this movie where I was like, you know what? If I was a kid and didn't have, that discerning filter on what was good dialogue or story structure or overused jokes, this living cartoon with these animals fucking Brendan Fraser up left and right would probably be the funniest movie I ever saw. If I was 6 years old.
Well, that's the thing. I've seen so many movies that I would not recommend anybody. I wouldn't even recommend the parents take their kids to it. I said, just wait for it to come out on DVD. But at the same time, I can't say that they're awful.
Okay, let me put it this way. You take a movie like Mouse Hunt.
Yes.
Because that's the movie it kept making me think of. And somebody says like it's a story of a mouse that keeps fucking over these two guys. And you'd be like, well, that sounds dumb. I don't want to see that. Then you actually see it, you get it in the hands of somebody like Gore Verbinski, who actually did a really good job. He kept it fairly realistic. It was kind of like a Laurel and Hardy movie, great art direction. That kind of thing worked. So here you have the same thing, except it's in the hands of an idiot who doesn't really know how to pull things off that well.
Oh, we're talking about the director. No, I'm talking about Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first clue is they hired Brendan Fraser.
Okay, let me say this about Brendan Fraser. He's not the best guy. He doesn't he's not as funny as he thinks he is, but he does try. I mean, he's like at this point in his life, he's older. He's actually really fucking fat right now. Like, I don't know what happened between, G.I. Joe and this movie. Like, he must have walked by a Krispy Kreme donut and just say like, hey, I just got a big paycheck and I want everything.
He walked by all of them.
Was he in G.I. Joe?
Yeah, he had a cameo in G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, he just has a big head. Come on. He's always had that head.
No. He's always had a big head, but he's put on a lot of weight. He's like Raymond Burr big.
It's not that he's a bad actor. It's just that he's proven throughout his career that he picks his scripts by dartboard.
Yeah.
He's okay. What it is like he's one of those actors where he could have gone the leading man route.
Yeah.
And but he always played toward comedy most of the time. And I respect him for that. It's like, cause the leading man way is the easy way. It's like, hey dude, you know what? You made a good action movie. We got you on the leading man track. We're going to have you star with Sandra Bullock or Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer Lopez.
The Gerard Butler track.
Yeah, the Gerard Butler track. And the only time Brendan Fraser starred with Sandra Bullock was in Crash, where there was hardly, that movie that was going to catapult him to doing more movies.
Well,
like that.
He's done some small films. One of them that comes to mind. I like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
I've always thought, I agree with you. I've always thought that Brendan Fraser was very talented, very funny, and could do both drama and comedy. He just chose a lot of bad comedies. But Gods and Monsters.
Right.
Saw that and I was like, he is really a great actor.
The Quiet American, I believe, was another one that was really good with him in it.
Didn't see it. Was he good in it?
Yeah, excellent film.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can do that. He's proven time and time again that he's a more than competent actor, that he's really good, in fact. But my God, who picks his scripts? I mean, I just would love to, if I ever got a chance to interview him, that'd be the first thing I'd ask. Who picks your scripts?
Well, I mean,
what's wrong with you? Obviously, you're talented, but you need to hire a new agent or something.
I mean, he's doing, the Mummy, Inkheart. Clearly, he's got kids, and he's like, I want to make movies for them.
Dude, he's been doing them for so long, his kids probably have their own kids by now.
Absolutely right.
And they're like, Dad, we hate your movies.
But the thing is, I mean, he's put on a ton of weight right now. He's huge. And the thing is, you think okay, at this point in his career where he's older, he's fat, he might be trying to hide it, wear big clothes.
He's like George Wendt of the jungle.
But but he's got some scenes in this movie where he not only doesn't hide it, he flaunts it and uses it for comic effect. He goes in the shower and lets his belly hang all the way out and gets out and the animals have stolen his clothes, so he puts on his wife's juicy, tight warm-up clothes, but pink, and goes out where it's above his belly. And the thing is, you know what? As lowbrow as this is, I gotta salute this guy.
I was about to say.
For just being out there being hey, fuck it.
It's like when the bear attacks, he could take the bear. It's like, why is he running from this bear? That bear can be like, fuck this. Not only is he bigger than me, but he's wearing a skirt.
I mean, there's something about him and his charm, even with everything that's happened. Well, you just kind of... it's hard to hate him.
Well, speaking of Brendan Fraser in his movie, he plays Dan Randers. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he works for a real estate development agency over in Oregon. And so when they start developing certain parts of this wilderness and encroaching on the animals' territory environment, the animals decide to take revenge and strike back by shitting on him and aiming at his crotch.
Oh, good Lord. That if they only stopped at that, that'd be one thing. But they pile 10 skunks into his SUV and spritz him a few times. They drop things on him, put him, he gets locked in a porta potty and a bear flips it over and over.
Jokes, nut shot jokes.
Oh yeah. I mean, they do things beyond anything.
Do they pee on him at any point?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Let's see. We got it all covered.
Oh, name something else.
Something vomits.
Yes.
Jesus.
No. But the thing is, watching, maybe I didn't hate this movie because as I watched, I was like, you know what? Somebody who was talented, who had a dark sense of humor, could remake this movie and make it a dark comedy. Because the animals start to do things that border on, at one point they drop him off a cliff in his truck.
Yeah.
And he just walks away from it. But I'm like, you know what?
A different movie.
Yeah, a different movie with the animals really taking revenge on people.
Yeah, I'm watching this trailer, and all I can think of is when all those people recut the Shining trailer.
Yeah.
They look all happy. I'm thinking I would recut this with, say, the Requiem for a Dream theme music, and have it where he's just crazy. And he's just going crazier seeing these animals everywhere around him. Because that's really what it kind of feels. They're all like, oh, the animals aren't doing anything. What are you, crazy? And going, yes. In Cyrus's version of this film, he is crazy, and at the end, it's him and Rachel Weisz on a double-ended dildo going at it.
But see, it's easy to have the person was crazy the whole time. What's better is you think they're crazy, and it turns out they were absolutely right, and everybody gets slaughtered by these animals.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these animals, damn, they're out in the forest building Rube Goldberg machines. They're driving cars. I'm thinking why are y'all taking the long way around taking revenge? This should be like Hotel Rwanda. They need to be picking up machetes and going around the town and chopping people's arms off. Speaking of The Shining, that should be a scene where Brendan Fraser's hiding in the bathroom and that axe comes to the door and it's a raccoon. Yes, Ricky.
The thing is, it's not even all that far from that. I'm like, it wouldn't take nothing to just make that leap over and to be in a straight up horror movie.
Or alternately, is really the shopping mall going to be worth as much as discovering a whole forest full of creatures with the ability to make Rube Goldberg traps and drive cars and shit? I mean, science would be revolutionized.